author, researcher, comic book publisher. We sell his books and great comic books, Alt Hero, InfoWarsStore.com. Joseph, what is coming up? A lot of big special guests this week, a lot of big stuff coming up next week. I'm going to leave it at that. You'll definitely want to be tuning into the broadcast. I mean, we got a big guest Friday in studio, but I don't talk about a fish till they're in the boat or until they're actually filleted back at the coast and in the fryer. But just look for that. Vox, getting back into your gestalt about history of the elite going into a scorched earth retrenchment policy. They want to scorch earth so we're all fighting with each other so they can run off and hide in their redoubts. I think it's important to expose what's happening with that paradigm and that people should hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And I see Trump trying to valiantly pump up a bubble to try to stop the last collapse. But as you say, the Federal Reserve and the globalists, even though they say they fear the collapse of the bubble, they still want to kill nationalism and populism, so they've been trying to pop Trump's bubble as a way to get nationalism under control. So it's like a snake eating itself.
Yeah, and it's not working. You know, we were talking about Italy, and you were talking about the problems that we've had over here, but that's why the Italians already have a full-blown nationalist government. You know, right now there's the alliance between the Movimento Cinque Stelle and La Liga, but La Liga, who are the true nationalists, you know, they are so popular now that they would be elected as a majority if there was an election held today. And you know, they're way to the right of.
So let me ask you this then: is that the silver lining that nationalists and right wingers and populists and Christians everywhere from Brazil to Italy are winning? Is there some way out of this if we got enough patriots elected to try to have some new space-based initiative or secret technology release to create a whole new renaissance of technology that got us out of the bubble?
No, but what it will do is it will significantly reduce the magnitude of the problem. It will significantly reduce, you know, it'll be civil unrest rather than civil war. It'll, you know, you'll have people moving, you'll have large-scale repatriations and so forth, but they can be peaceful rather than, you know, turning into some sort of Balkans writ large.
Well, I've been interrupting a lot because you bring up great points. What else do you see coming up? What about Trump and his refusal to really go after censorship?
I'm disappointed in that, but my opinion is that he probably has too many things on his plate, and that the censorship of people like you and me and a lot of others is just not a concern for him, because the things that he's dealing with are much more urgent problems. That's my impression. I could be wrong. Maybe he just doesn't care. But
no, I agree. That's the spin, but he doesn't get this is who took him over the finish line. I mean, basic communication.
No. I think he understands that. I think he's going to win regardless, and I think he knows he's going to win regardless. I think that, you know, I think he is desperately trying to keep his hand in the dike, and it's possible that, you know, people like you and I who are telling people the truth about what's going on are possibly even making that job harder. But, you know, it's not
you just
work.
said it, and I'm just going to say it. The elite are like, well, Trump will let you be in here at one level, but these people are undermining confidence, and Jones and others are too powerful, so we need to call back their power. But that whole thing about balance. And so that's it. Trump knows we're being censored, and he supports it.
I wouldn't say he supports it. I would just say that it's not a battle that he feels is worth fighting at the moment. And there may be I mean, it's hard on you. It's hard on a lot of us. I should mention, we just launched a new channel called Unauthorized TV. You can find it at unauthorized.tv. We just launched it 3 days ago because, you know, more and more people keep getting deplatformed and demonetized and so forth. So we said, screw it, let's just come up with our own thing. And we already have 1,500 subscribers, and it's only the third day of its existence is just beginning. There's hundreds of hours of great content, and it's all the sort of people, you know, it's everyone from gardeners to commentators like me, and you know, there's even some different there's a physicist who's planning to start a channel there, and it's where people can go to get the kind of information that they're not going to be able to get on places like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and so forth. And so I would encourage anyone who's watching this, if that's of interest to you, come by, and there's tons of free content. And if you want to become a subscriber, it's very easy.
Well, that's a great idea, and I'm glad you're doing it. You've also got Brighteon that Mike Adams has done, and that's what this is all about. It's very, very exciting, and I love the name, unauthorized.tv. By the way, I encourage Paul Watson, and we'll put that on screen if we can do that in a moment, Paul Watson to do his own website for his own thing with his own passion. Because sometimes he'll complain about what I'm doing or what somebody else is doing. I said, do your own thing. And then Artie Media Matters goes, Watson's leaving Jones. No, that's what parent birds do, is they push baby birds out the nest. I'm not trying to build some edifice, sound like Nancy Pelosi, all senile and power, going, I'm your commander. The real victory is sitting back and watching people you've supported and helped build up dominate the enemy. That's real generaling. That's real leadership. And so that's what we're really, really trying to do here. Vox, thank you so much for the time that you've spent with us today. A lot of really, really great points. And one thing's for sure, we're not living in a boring time, so things are certainly exciting.
No, for somebody who has ambitions of writing history, this is a wonderful time to be alive. It's tremendously interesting. It's tremendously fascinating. And I'm really happy that there's people like you who are using your position to tell people as much of the truth as you can.
All right, Vox, you too. Back at you. Jordanetics, great book you've got. All the different comic books, InfoWarsStore.com. Be sure and get those. All right, Paul Watson launched on his own summit.news. And it's going to have original reporting, other people's reporting. And it's Paul Watson running it. It's Paul Watson doing it out of the UK. And it's going to have a lot of updates, a lot of things added to it, I'm told. But it's now up there right now. I mean, I noticed a lot of it's InfoWars reporting. But I told Paul, I said, I want you to go out like I recruited you. And my goal, if you listen to my ideas, is that it not be InfoWars within a few months. Because that's victory. It's not making it about InfoWars or News Wars or Prison Planet. We'll continue on. It's just that a tree creates acorns that create new trees. Two humans create babies that create the future. Anything that's not satanic creates new things. And then it grows and watches the sun sets and then gets struck by lightning and falls down. And then in amongst the wreckage, the old oak tree grow new oaks. And they go through that process over and over again. So like rivers to the sea, that's what this is about. True victory is building the next generation and watching it do great things. So summit.news is in its embryonic phase, but a lot of great articles. So that's all up there right now. In fact, I'm told Paul's populating it as we speak. I think that was the beta test site he was doing a few weeks ago. So maybe Paul told me to launch it today, and he said he was ready with it today. So maybe that's not the case, but that is the way things tend to operate.